Hello, everybody. Welcome. Hi, Dr. Gail. Welcome.
Hey, Terry. Hi, everybody. Thanks for having me.
Yeah. Thanks for being here. So, we decided it was too cold outside, so we called in spring.
Yes, the background is beautiful. It's snowing in both places. Oh, it must be snowing in a lot of the U.S. right now.
Yeah. Snow and rain is what I heard. So, welcome. I'm just going to say hi to a few people, and we are simulcasting from both channels. So, if you don't see all the chat, that's why. And I'm starring questions. And when we get to those, if you could please keep them in caps and be pretty direct about what you want. Like, can I get a message from my guides is good. But if you want to know about a particular thing in your life from your guides, even easier to get to for the readers. So, hi, Leah. Hi, Jen Carr. Sherry, how are you? Sarah May. Wow, we got a good crowd here already. Annie Bear, Richie's Reach. Hi, Richie. And let's see, Teresa Ford's here. Oil painter, Diana, Seascape. She made it. Hi, Susie. How are you doing?
Hey, Susie.
Yeah. Nice. And Dream Journey 1. Wow. That's a great name. Hi,
Yeah,
Kristen.
yeah. She's pretty much. She's a regular.
I love that name. I love that
I
name. So there's a lot of people here. Hi, Deep Albuquerque. I love that name too.
Yes.
Oh my God, that's beautiful.
I just talked the other day.
Yeah. And Claudia. Okay, there's too many to listen to, but we are surrounding you all in hugs and love. Yeah. So big week going on. And lots coming in. And I think everybody's been feeling the heaviness of the energy. But I feel like everything's getting ready to lift off. So
Yeah, I was told it's going to be heavy until February.
yeah.
And it's going to start getting better.
Yeah.
So we just have another month to go, and it's from that blue light coming in November that we're all feeling that heaviness, and February should start. It should be integrated in our body, and we should start feeling better. And then whatever your new gifts or whatever's coming in, you should be able to implement it by May.
Yeah, and I feel like everybody's clicking. Like our memories are clicking now. Like
Yes.
Watching a show and you hear about something and you just know it already. Like it just clicks. Yeah, downloads. Downloads is a good word for that.
People get downloads all the time, but I think we're knowing we're getting downloads now, that's different.
Oh, I love that. I love that. Gotcha, Diana and Debbie. Yeah. Hey, Dina. So, I feel like these downloads are coming in faster and faster, and that's part of the heaviness, maybe.
Right.
Is getting in tune with that and in tune with Gaia too, while we're at it. What she's up to. So, yeah.
She's leading us into my whole story of this morning. Terry's so nicely moving us that way.
Very subtly.
Very subtly. So, are you want me to start?
As subtle as a freight train.
Well, this morning during meditation, I went in asking, I said, what should we be doing on the show today with Terry? And immediately I've got Mother Earth showed up, and she wanted me to go back, which I did these videos like 2 or 3 years ago about Mother Earth and the trees and the owls and the dolphins. And anyway, so she's wanting me to repeat those messages because those messages are very pertinent today also. And what's so fascinating about this is before we even started discussing ley lines and plasma and all these things that I have learned since then. Wasn't even on my radar at this time. But I'm just going to go in and just repeat some of the things that she wanted me to say. And this is when, and y'all going to think I'm fat, blank, crazy when I'm telling you all these things. Because I was, at this time, was an interplanetary liaison. And and I don't know if the ones that don't know me, I'm connected with the ETs. And when I was an interplanetary liaison, I was the one going from planet to planet, star to star, getting information from them. And I felt like the complaint department. So they would tell me the things that were wrong, and I would take it back to the council, and they would try to correct these things. Well, one of the things I did was come to Earth, and there were a lot of complaints on Earth. So on Earth, and everybody wanting it. This is my 5D light body that travels to these different planets and stars, and I have the ability to blend in with them. Like when I went to Cetus B, which is CETUSB, when I went to that star, I took off my human body and put on a whale body and went swimming with them. So that was pretty fascinating. That was the first time I had seen that I'd actually changed my body and went into be the liaison. There's somebody who has taken that job now from me, and he's much better at it than I was. He's so much more better at it. He's more of a diplomatic person, and I was more of a factual, like, okay, tell me what's wrong and let's fix it. And he's more of a, okay, yeah, well, anyway, he's much better at it than I am. But anyway, these old messages, they wanted to repeat. And the first one was with the owls. And the owl said, leave us an apartment. And, they said it several times, leave us an apartment. I didn't know what that meant until they started going more into it. And they showed me when you're building a house, building a subdivision, building anything, be sure to leave some nature, leave some trees, leave them an apartment. They want an apartment for all the creatures and things that live into the trees. So they understand that you got to go in and make your house or build your house, but don't fill the whole house of the whole land, and don't take a subdivision and just level it all. Leave them an apartment, which I thought was important. I mean, we don't need all that kind of big house. We can leave them a little bit. We can leave them an apartment. So that was what they wanted. You have anything to that, Terry?
Yeah, I do. I have a few things about that. So first off, the whale body.
Yeah.
Sometimes in meditations, when we go into meditations, we do we bring in the owls and the winged ones, the hawks and the dragons, and we fly through time and space, what we know is time and space, looking through their eyes. So I just loved that you were doing that in the water, because we haven't done that yet. And now it's on my list.
You know what they did was, and I know this was just a simple, is they brought in like a coat rack, like rolled it in, and there was a little body hanging on a hanger. And so I took my human body off. It was almost like I zipped it off, hung it up, and then put the whale body on, and then went swimming with them. It was great.
I'm so in love with that. Oh, what was the other thing that you were just talking about? I'm sorry. It was about the
owls.
Yes, the owls. I love that too, because we don't need that much, do we? And we need, I mean, everything is showing that. And I don't know about you guys, but now I want a smaller house. Like I bought this house 8 years ago after my husband passed, and I thought, oh, that's plenty, because the kids were still in school. And now I'm like, I'm ready to downsize again already, because I don't want that big footprint. I don't want to take care of it. I'd rather be outside or doing or whatever. And I think the kids these days are like that too. I don't think they want the big footprint. I mean, they're knowing that, paying taxes and the utilities. I mean, just the physical aspect of it too. Yeah. Sorry. Okay.
No, I think it's great, because I mean, one of the things that they did say is they were wanting that kind of a newer spin to it. So of my old videos, and everybody, y'all can go back to my channel, and these are way old videos that you can look at, but they are still pertinent today. The next one was one of my favorites, and of course I'm a water person, so I love water. And okay, and so next was the dolphins, and I was down at the beach, and I had a dolphin that came up, and her name was Princess Fiona, and she had a little crown on her head. It was so cute, but she was telling me how we are all focused on what we can see in the water. We're focused on the plastics, the trash, the things that are in the water. What she was concerned about was what we couldn't see and the things that we don't want to give up. And that was a lot of it was to do with the boats and the industries dumping in the water and boats dumping their fuels and things in the water. And she was just going, and she would put her hand and go, I'll swim up to the boat and go. And she was so cute about it. She said, but we aren't looking at that as much as we're looking at what we can see, like the plastic. But those other things are just as important or even more important that we need to be looking at. So Terry, you had a lot on this, which was good.
Yeah. Yeah. So I feel like that water, looking at that in so many different ways, you know, the plasma of the planet, it's not how we perceive this physical form and the physical form of the water. I mean, it's definitely intelligence, isn't it? And it has a consciousness. So anything with a consciousness, which everything on the earth has a consciousness, perhaps besides AI.
Right.
Yeah. And things that we make like that. So giving them their respect that they deserve. But also the whales, I think it's in Italy and Spain, isn't it, that are attacking?
I'm not sure where it is. Maybe y'all can tell us where it is, but yeah, there's some place where the whales are attacking boats.
Yeah, that makes so much sense that, you know, because their message, I thought it was about the sound, the frequency for a long time of the planet waking up, but this makes so much more sense.
Right.
That it would be about this. Yeah.
So, yeah. Okay. Anything else, Terry?
No.
I mean, this is great. Okay. Next was the trees, and this was a big one. And when I was the trees at this time, I was wanting to know what I could do for them because I was connecting to everything. And as I said, I was an interplanetary liaison, and I was hearing complaints. So I started off with, let me ask first what I can do for them before I start hearing the complaints. And then I thought, well, sure, they're going to say plant a tree or do something. But, oh, no. They said they wanted us to start communicating like them. And it made me feel like they were more advanced than us. They said their communications are always about love, compassion, and caring. And they kept saying that over and over again, love, compassion, and caring. And the only negative thing they might say, but it's not negative, it's a warning that something's happening and it's something physical happening. So they're asking us, they said, we already have our communication across the world in place. They're wanting us to start communicating only with compassion, caring, and love. And when we do, we will be joining them. So it's almost like we have to raise to the level of them before we can join with the trees and the communications. So we have a long ways to go, but it really made me stop and think going, you know, we think we're so advanced, but their communication system, which they can communicate all over the world with their tree and root system, and yet we look at them as inferior when actually in their communications, they're superior than us. So I thought that was very fascinating.
I find that so fascinating. And I do feel like, you know, people talk about the trees walking and moving. And kind of like, I think there were a few sci-fi movies like that, which of course I'm sure they got downloads about that. But definitely that I've always felt like the tree trunks are where you have the rings of time, or definitely time travel, like, you know, something that you can go inside of. But that caring and compassion, that we have to get there, but also that everybody in this chat and you and I are working on our intuition. We're connected to our light bodies. We're working with all that. And that's the start of this, like being able to communicate with each other without our phones, without anything else, because I feel like that's the next step. And that's where, you know, the remote viewing and the intuition and the telepathy, being able to send messages.
Yeah, well, that's what the Lyrans, remember when I was talking about the Lyrans, that's what our future will be, when they were saying we wouldn't need computers and phones and things like that because we'll be telepathic.
Yeah.
So That is our future. So all this stuff, all these gadgets and stuff will go away because and that's also, we'll get our information from the trees, which is
Wow.
interesting. That connection there, because I didn't even think about that until now, because that's what they're showing us. We would be getting information from the earth and the trees and everything else, that which makes sense because we'll be joined in on the communication system.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense. And I guess I always think about that in such a way that it's, 10 or 20 years in the future or 40 years or whatever. But on some level with all of us here, it's already here.
Yes.
I mean, we're already doing this, which is amazing.
We all have the ability to do
Yeah.
it. We're just having to bring it out.
Yeah. Yeah.
Did I talk about Mother Earth's message yet?
No,
Okay.
not yet.
To describe her to everybody, what Mother Earth looks like, I know I told you, but I'm not sure if I remember. Anyway, Mother Earth comes to me looking like a mermaid, and she's a clay-colored mermaid. She's absolutely beautiful, and she just swims around in Earth. It looks like she's swimming around in Earth. And one day I went down to join her, which I am not comfortable going in Earth. I am now. It's taken me many years to be comfortable. But when I was with her, I would have to pop up in Earth, and I'd have to stick my neck out to get a breath, like I was scuba diving or swimming underwater, and I'd have to pop up and get air and go back down with her, which she kept laughing at. But her message was, and again, this message still applies today, and this is 2-3 years old, that on natural disasters, we're having a lot of natural disasters, but that does bring us together. We're at our best when we have natural disasters. We help our neighbors, we help our friends, we help our community. We'll even travel across the United States to help somebody. We'll go out of the country to help somebody. It brings out the best. We will send money, we'll send supplies, we'll do all sorts of things to help people in disasters. So that is our future. We will be doing that without disasters. And that's, now today, I'm wondering if that's why we're having so many disasters back to back to back, because it's bringing us together as a community or people together to help each other. And that is our future, is that we will be doing that, but we won't have the disasters. So that's kind of making sense to me now, 2 or 3 years later, that while we're having so many disasters, because she says that's when we're at our best. So that's making sense again, too. So.
Yeah, it really does, doesn't it? Having social discourse with everybody. Like, it seems like everything really blew up in 2014, 2015 with the election, and that was like a huge blow up. And then things have happened, like the pandemic, that brought us all really back together.
Yeah, because this is after the pandemics started, and that's right.
Yeah, but there are so many things that are going on right now that
Right.
do bring us together and apart. Like, we have a chance to look at it both ways with the wars and whatnot. And yeah, I love that. I love that.
That's all my messages, and they are old messages. And as I said, they are pertinent today. We were just supposed to bring in a new spin, which is making sense now, even more sense than it did then. But y'all can go back and see those videos, which I don't have them categorized. They're probably in the beginning. I'm not that technically gifted, or not at all technically gifted. Susie helps me all the time. But anyway, so those videos, old videos, are on my channel. And so I think they show up as like they're about 2 years old.
Those are amazing. Those are amazing. And I love going into Earth. Scientists say that the waters inside the Earth are larger than all the waters on the outside combined. And I feel like that's such a healing space too. But
you like going into Earth? Because I didn't. I do now.
Yeah.
But it took me years before, because I'm at the stars. I'm the stars, the planets. I'm very comfortable. I'm very comfortable in the water, but I was not comfortable. And I think that's part of my journey in Mount Shasta, was becoming comfortable, because the Lemurians are inner earth beings and dealing with the elementals. And then I started doing the shamanic journey. And so anyway, I was going to the underworld most of the time. So I have learned now to be more comfortable going inside Earth.
Now, when we travel, or when I travel to the center of the earth, and I say we because a lot of times we go in guided meditations there, but I see another universe. Like there's ships there, galactic ships, and all sorts of different galactic species running around, busy, 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 doing stuff, and
Yeah, and and I think that might be part of why I'm supposed to start getting comfortable because they do like call themselves inner Earth beings because they are actually were here before us, so we're more
Oh,
galactic to them than because
wow.
they have been there for a long time, and so yeah, I think that might have been it is part of my journey. Is getting more comfortable working with them and elementals, even though they are connected to the galactics. They do go out, and we will get there. We'll eventually be like that, but they are called inner Earth beings, and they are connected to the galactics, and they do have spaceships to get out there. So it's just a little bit different world.
Yeah. Amazing. Amazing.
Yeah,
Um, so let's talk about how they get in and out of there just for a minute.
we talked about this the other day, didn't we?
I
Talked
think we
about
did. I think we
yeah.
did. Yeah.
What were we talking about then? Was that the Lemur? That the Lemur? That was the
Oh,
Lemurian. Right?
yeah, but that was in person. That was just the 2 of us. I don't think we were
Yeah,
sharing
that
that.
was just the two of us. Yeah.
Yeah, so, we were talking about, um, the tall whites and the Lemurians that we've been seeing and how they are traveling through the cave system.
Mhm.
And, so through the mountains and, where I live is like one of the centers of the cave system on the planet, at least North America, I think. Lots of limestone stone caves here in my area, but how fast that is. But also, I'm seeing that there's channels in the ocean. Like
Oh, there is.
they keep showing me a big hole in the ocean that's like um, a vortex. Like you can't see it, and you can take your boat over it, but or your ship because they're deep in the ocean, but that it just opens up.
Right. I think, and there's channels
Yeah.
in the earth where the boats go. Yeah, well, it did take us a while to get there, though. Terry and I were talking about how well, I said when I first came to Mount Shasta, I felt like I was being watched, and she said she felt like she was being watched now. And I said that's so strange. I said I don't feel that as much now, but I felt it for like, and I've never felt it before that I was being watched. And I'm going. So we started trying to figure it out, and that's when we figured it out that they were traveling in the cave systems and they were watching her and they were watching me and they're watching quite a few other people. And it seemed more to be the healers, wasn't it? That they seemed to be going for or watching the people who were in that were healers.
Right. That's right. That's what we were getting. I already forgot that. Yeah. I think they were watching the healers and they're just watching. And if you look at them, a few times I've gotten a smile, but usually it's they'll just look the other way.
Yes.
They're just around,
Yeah. They're around.
holding space for us. Now, I remember back in the 70s when I was a teenager, I used to see them all the time around. And I'd see the tall Nordic ones with all the hair and the bushy beards and stuff, but I'd also see the darker, uh, they were pale skin, but they had really dark hair and like shining blue eyes, like diamond light behind their eyes, around a lot. But, to note, it's just those really tall ones right now.
Well, the first two that I finally recognized that showed up for me was when I was at the dog park, and a brother and sister came into the dog park, and they looked regular. I mean, the clothes were a little different, and I was the only one down there, and they did not drive up. They walked up. They didn't have a dog. They walked in and they started talking to me, and we held a conversation for I don't know, maybe 5 minutes until it's kind of went off the rails, and and it was warm. And they started talking about coats. I'm going, these people are really strange. It's time to get out of here. But in the meantime, the girl was throwing the ball to my dog, throwing her, and she was bringing it back. She never does that. So I know they were telepathically communicating with her, and she was going back and forth, and I'm going, poor dog's going to have a heart attack in a minute. And, and of course they were telepathically, they were reading my mind, and she stopped immediately. And also when they came in the dog park, they left the gate open, and I thought, well, they need to close that gate. Well, immediately they went right back and closed the gate. And then she sat right beside me. The girl sat right beside me. And I'm going, man, this is a weird girl. She's sitting beside me. She jumped up and moved to another table. And the guy started talking to me. Anyway, it took me the next day I think I stopped right in the middle of the road going, oh my gosh, those are ETs. And I had just asked them that I was ready to meet them in person, but don't scare me. So they sent me two that I wasn't scared of. So immediately I called Nancy G and I said, read on this. Were these ETs I saw in the dog park? And she's going, yes, she did. And so that was my first experience of knowing and interacting with two. And so I kept thinking they were like on the autistic scale.
Yeah. Yeah. A little different.
Yeah. And so,
which people on the autistic scale are probably, definitely very sensitive, and yeah.
So anyway, so they did exactly what I had asked them. They sent me two people to meet that I wasn't scared of. There was nobody else in there, but it's really strange that they walked up to the dog park because there's nothing around there, and that they walked in without a dog and then started talking to me immediately. And I thought, well, they should be proud of themselves. They passed for about 5 minutes before I'm ready to get out of there because I didn't know what's going to happen next. It's probably longer than that. It might have been about 15 minutes, but it did. Their conversation held until it just went off the rails. When I started talking about coats and this coat and that coat, I'm going, I need to get out of here. So,
that's not funny. I feel like, yeah, I'm with you. Like, I don't want them to come in a form of another species yet. I don't know that I'm ready for that, but I'm thinking about what in my mind said it would look like. So when you're in the ship, do you see them as other species, like an 8-foot grasshopper? Or,
right, I do.
Yeah.
I do. In fact, my beginning of my journey, after my spiritual awakening, I started meeting ETs, and I had a parade of them, and that they came in their form, and but it was in my 5D body. I wasn't seeing them in the 3D. So I was very accepting, and then every time I met one, I'd go running to my friend Meg, going, "What was that?" I just met a grasshopper, a big grasshopper. Let's call her praying mantis, and then my very first one is actually my guide, and her name's Matkai. She is kind of an Arcturian descendant, but she showed up as a little petite little thing, and she has a crown kind of on her head that shakes like jello when she talks. And she's all blue, and it's like part of it. It's not a crown, but it's part of her body. So yeah, I've met them all in their regular forms, and I didn't know. And I was glad that I met a reptilian before I knew what they were too, because when I talked about this big, giant, scaly thing that I met, Meg about freaked out. She said, watch out for those. And I'm going, it's so sweet. And anyway.
Yeah. Because there's nice reptilians. There's
there's a lot of nice reptilians. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. So
and probably a lot on the planet too.
Oh yeah. They're inside the planet too.
Yeah. Well, it could have been in a couple of my old houses too. Back in the day.
Old boyfriends.
Oh my God. Let me tell you. Yeah, no doubt. So we talk about that we want to interchange with them, or we want to communicate. And because there is so much information there, and I just feel like it's such a calling or a longing. And I don't know if that's because it's our past or our future, or because it's something that we long to go home to.
Yeah, it's our family.
Yeah.
I think that's what that longing is connect to your family. But the problem is also we have to be prepared to, if they come in that form, how our bodies are going to react. with that different kind of vibrational, our fight or flight is going to take over. We might even get sick. We might throw up. There's all sorts of physical reactions that we might have when they show up. So we have to be prepared for that. Our vibration has to be up. I'm not sure how we. I know, some people go on kind of diet. In fact, I was told to go on a diet for, I think 5 days before I went up into the spaceship. I had to go on a easy on my stomach. What do they call it? Oh, it just left me. But I had to go on a diet for 5 days before I even started going to the spaceship or started going to do things. And it was like I was eating carbs during that time. There was all sorts of good stuff that I was eating. But anyway, so we have to be prepared, because that. It's not just like, oh, we want to meet them, I want to see them. You're going to have some physical reaction, because every time in the beginning I met them and went up the spaceship, I came home and I was sick for days after that. Days, even though I was on this easy stomach diet, I was sick. I was sick. I kept coming, being nauseated, going, oh gosh, I can't believe it. But it was worth it. I kept going, it was worth it. So
Yeah.
we have to be prepared for that.
I didn't think about that, because not to mention just raising your vibration to that 5D, to be up there with the other, souls or entities that are 5th, 6th, 7th dimension, but also just being in space.
Right.
Like an astronaut.
Bland diet's what they told me. Bland diet.
Yeah. Oh, a bland diet. Well, that makes sense. Yeah. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Gosh, wow. That's pretty cool. Well, so do you think, like, I feel like I've started thinking about, like, what would I do if I saw, an 8-foot tall praying mantis, or what would they look like? And I think that we have a lot of hybrids and species here, like the octopus, the whales.
We do.
And just looking at nature and saying, kind of looking at it and thinking, well, what would I do if I could communicate with you? And we can. And so that's so interesting.
Right. Well, I mean, we have hybrids here on Earth, human hybrids too.
Yeah.
I'm actually a human hybrid. So I am human and Arcturian. So if I looked Arcturian, I'd be called a Arcturian hybrid, but I am a human hybrid. So we have hybrids a lot, and I would say a big part of people who are in the chat, a good portion of them are hybrids also, because they're interested in this conversation. Yeah,
I know I'm a hybrid. I don't know how it melds together, but it's Lemurian, Palladian, and Andromedan.
Right.
But, yeah, and it's just, but the Andromedan goes way back. So, yeah. Anyway, so that might be the origins.
Yes.
But it's interesting how that comes to us, and I wonder if that matters, like what species that is on this planet, how we perceive the planet to be right now.
I think it also has a lot to do with our personalities too. I mean, because I was shown how it happened to me, how I became a hybrid. That my mother came back, she had passed, and she came back to show me the whole thing where they came in and they asked her, if it was, she agreed to it, and because she couldn't get pregnant, which we have a lot of women who can, and she agreed to it, and they messed with her DNA, not DNA. It was like, I have the DNA of my father and my mother, but I have the Arcturian DNA also. And I was shown all that, how it happened. And because I kept questioning, because at that time I was dealing with a lot of hybrid pregnancies and adoptions and things like that. And I kept going, I'm wondering if I'm one. And then finally, of course, I was told on the spaceship I was one, but indirectly, because the captain said everybody who works on the spaceship's a hybrid. And I'm going, wait a minute, I work on the spaceship. What? Anyway, so I got those details on how it did happen to me, and everybody's different. A lot of people have a different kinds of DNA that were mixed. So, like you're saying, I would since you have such a strong connection to the tall whites, I would think that might be your star family.
Yeah.
But but we all have been different planets. Like I've been to I've been every different kind of species you can think of and gone to different planets. And this is my third one like this that I've come to help the Ascension. I was I was on the Pleiades at one time helping them, and then I've been here at Earth, and I traveled with two other people going and helping the Ascension. So this is my third time, and that's why my progression on all my gifts and things are so quick, because this is my third time doing this.
Wow. So, what about if you've had a light body before? What if you affiliate more with or sometimes with just that light? And
what I do affiliate most with is because there's three of us that travel just in our light bodies. And so we my light bodies come into a human body. And as I said, my light body went into a well body. After my human body, I went to a well body. So yes, that is exactly how I travel. And I travel with two other light body beings. And that's how we do travel.
Wow. Anybody else, their crown chakra just going nuts?
It's like my light body, and it has like this blue hue around it.
Okay. Because I remember before I came into the planet, being a light body, and it was yellow and white.
Yours is yellow and white. Yeah. Well, that would make perfect sense. Yeah, because I think what we actually are all light bodies, and I think this is just our human skin or meat skin that we put on whatever that's put on us. But yes.
Yeah, our experience in this lifetime.
Yeah, our experience in the lifetime.
Yeah. And it's funny, isn't it, that we think that this body's solid, but it's not. It's all in motion. So it would be quite.
They look at us, and I think this is funny how it seems like the other beings are like smaller or thinner or whatever. They look at us as a sack of water. That's what I've been told was in the beginning, that humans are just a sack of water. I'm sitting there going, oh yeah, you're right. We are just a sack.
We are. Yeah. We're like, what, 90% water or 95? Yeah.
Yes. But it's just strange seeing it from their eyes, how they look at us.
It would be, wouldn't it? Because, I mean, us, when we look at an octopus or a praying mantis or something, we're like, oh, that's interesting.
Exactly.
Yeah. Where thine eyes sees the beauty, I think. I can't remember what that quote is.
Right. Well, it's like one of my guides, her name's Sally. She's not attractive, but she keeps telling me, I am on my planet. I'm on my planet. And she's a little diva. And, but she's descended of the deers, but she has like a scrunchy face, a little deer, but she's aqua colored, which is really pretty. But, when she came in, she came in when I was actually in the metaphysical store with Meg and Mary, which you've seen Mary on my show some. And she came in when I was with them. And that was the first time I saw one when I wasn't meditating. And so she freaked me out. And they kept asking me, is she pretty? Because I kept saying she's aqua color. And I'm going, she's not pretty.
Oh my gosh.
She's standing right there. And I'm going, y'all are asking me if she's pretty? So, anyway, it was pretty funny. And then she was going, I am pretty on my planet.
Yeah. Like Chewbacca was kind of good looking, wasn't he? But some of the other ones, maybe not.
Exactly.
That's funny. That's funny what we call attractive. But yeah. Might be an octopus, Teresa Ford says. Yeah. That's hilarious. Well, I love that you brought that to us. So thank you, because I feel like it's really needed. And at this time, I think being able to connect with Mother Earth and with the trees and with all the species telepathically and through light language or whatever, however we're doing it, is going to be huge in our future.
Yes. Well, the world's going to open up when we start doing telepathic communication.
Yeah. And I think that, we've kind of talked about this a little bit, about being watched, and that, I feel like the governments are interested in this now too.
Oh yes, I think you pointed that out for me when I was asking. There was one night I woke up and there was a man in my bed. Going, where did this man come from? And so I was asking Terry about it, and she was telling me it was somebody looking at, because they were asking me, they were testing me is what they were doing. They were asking me about the star systems, and they were actually in shock at how much knowledge I had. And so I'm going, who is this man? And Terry's telling me, no, somebody's spying on us or looking at us. And I'm going, I couldn't believe the guides let them in, but it was all, obviously it wasn't anything nefarious. It was okay. And, but yeah, go ahead.
Well, I if I remember this right, he was remote viewing you, and from a government, but it wasn't just a government. It was like a combination.
Right.
I'm sorry, my nose runs when spirit.
Mine was too. So I've got mine right here too.
So, but it, he had followed you from something, and could see that you were seeing all that, and he was spying, remote viewing for to see if this really worked like this, because I feel like for years they've remote viewed on the planet, but maybe not off planet and galactically to the extent that you do,
right? That
you travel. So yeah, I think this is a new exploration that they're doing. So yeah,
it shocked me. It really bothered me who this person was and who was testing, and he was testing me. That was a big thing. He was testing me, and it shocked him how much I knew.
Yeah, he did. He did know a lot, and he but it didn't seem like it was bad. It seemed like it was like US, UK, some Europeans, and somebody else. And the other person could have been like Elon or somebody like that. Not Elon, but who's the one that owns Virgin Electric or Virgin Airways?
I'm not sure.
Yeah, he has blonde hair. It's gray now. But anyway, yeah.
Somebody will tell us.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he was in my bed.
in her bed, yeah. Branson. Thank you, Fee. Yeah, Branson.
He was in my bed, and it shocked me that there was a man in my bed, and I was going, okay. And then he was testing me. Yeah.
And somebody was asking about the turds that fly. The entities presented as turds. That was one of my first entities that came in, galactic entities, when I was a little kid. And they'd come in, and my guides would say, well, just change the channel if you don't want to see him, and gave me the little channel on my pillow to change. But I remember them coming in, and then I realized who they are, and they're, I don't know who they are, but I know what they are. They travel in like a meteor, but it's filled with crystalline energy. Yeah, and they have that really deep vibration. That
it kind of makes sense that some would be traveling in meteors.
Yeah.
It could be their spaceship.
It is. It's their spaceship. Yeah. But it, as a 3-year-old, I thought they were turds. But it really looks like your background, the inside of their spaceship. So.
Oh, right. And I did see, I think it was somebody was saying that I can block them. And as I said, I have very strong guides, and they do block. It was obvious they let this one through because it needed to come through. They wanted me to let them know who I was. I think, because somehow or another, we're thinking I'm going to be helping them in the future somehow. I think that's how we kind of came up.
Yeah.
Carrie, that. So
that's right.
Yeah, they let this one through because they wanted me to meet him.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. And I think I even called you back and I got another hit on him. Or you
Right.
called me and I had another hit on him. But yeah, yeah. It comes in and it goes out. But sooner or later I'll remember it. But yeah, yeah, he wasn't bad. But yeah, they'll be contacting you again.
Right.
That was it. That was it. So yeah, I guess we had a troll for a minute, but
Oh,
nobody
did
can
we?
find them. Yeah, I didn't see him. I just saw somebody yelling troll.
Oh, good.
So
Thank you, moderators. Y'all are the best. It keeps
yeah,
us having a safe space to talk.
yeah. Thank you so much. Um, well, let's see. We've almost used up a lot of our time. You want to answer some questions or
Sure.
okay. Let's see what we have here. We've got lots of good ones. Let's see. Let's go ahead and go with Galactic.
Divine Empathetic Tarot. That's a good name.
Oh, I missed that one. Sherry, Trancing with Spirit. To my galactic guides or the Council of Nine have any messages for me today? Thank you.
Okay.
And we're not going in any order, you guys. So
Let me pull out my Star Seed Oracle deck, my favorite deck. This is by Rebecca Campbell.
oh, I love her.
Yeah.
Sherry, the first thing that they're bringing me in is a circle going around and around and around. Pardon me. And they're talking about how sometimes that looks like inertia, but actually it's a time of um, being compassionate with yourself right now because of all the downloads coming in. Also, that the time will come very soon when that circle is going to go and be very busy. So treasure this. But I'll pull some cards too.
Yeah, I've got one, and I pulled it, and it says, "I'm sorry," with the card, and it says, "Defenselessness, writing past wrongs, uprooting." So, what I'm getting out of this goes along right with yours. You're getting ready to go, or you might be going through a really tough time right now, and you're feeling defenseless, but you're not. You just need to take care of yourself. You need to just almost go into a ball and take care of yourself and rest, because all this information that's coming into is making you feel like you're defenseless, and I'm not sure what I'm going to do, what is happening, and it's almost like your body is being electric. So anyway, just really take care of yourself.
Yeah, yeah. And I got something very similar. Your higher heart activation, which is located in between your throat chakra and your crown chakra, and it's that rose quartz healing. And it's dropping shields, divine love. Your heart is healed. So, and I think a lot of us are going through that now.
Mm-hmm. But I think she's feeling it more, don't you?
Yeah, yeah.
She feels like her body's electrified.
Yeah. Oh, nice. I mean, if it feels good. Sometimes electrified is great. But yeah, definitely a healing. And because getting ready for something, it feels like.
Yeah.
Okay, she says yes. Good. Okay.
Just take care of yourself.
Yeah, everybody take care of yourself. Let's see. Diana says, I have had major healing on my leg and am finally back to the yoga mat on the first day I was aware of. Two tall whites. Were they actually with me in the room or watching me from the outside or above?
Well, Painter, I associate the tall whites with healing all the time. They usually show up when they're, so I'm thinking they were right there with you. Let me just check that. My feeling is I see them just right there with you.
Yeah.
You see, they were right with. That's a humongous yes. They were with you. And let me see if they were part of their healing. Yes, they were part of their healing. They're overseeing that healing. So
Yeah. They're really overseeing the healing.
and that's what I associate the tall whites when they show up, that they are there for, gosh, my pendulum is going crazy with the yes. That they are, I associate them with healing. And a lot of times they'll send two grays in front of them because sometimes they have trouble lowering their vibration to be in this 3D world. But anyway, they were there with you. You had two of them. I almost associate with them like being the doctors. So.
Oh, I love that. I love that. Yeah. I get the same, Diana. And when you say, were they actually with me in the room or watching me from outside or above? And I get all of that.
Yeah.
They were doing it all. So, yeah, that works out.
Yeah.
Let's
so
see.
there you go. Look at you. You got two doctors.
Yeah. I love them. Gosh, I have such a longing for them.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm excited when they show up in my bedroom. I've only seen them one or two times. Oh, yay. What kind of healing am I getting?
It is so nice. It does feel like going back home. And yeah, it's so wonderful. Claudia, Cat Mama. I'd love to meet and get to know a non-human being species. Will this happen for me?
I feel like you're already meeting them.
That's what I'm getting to.
Yeah. You're already meeting them. You just yeah, I'm getting yes. You already meet. I'm not sure what you're asking is you want to see me in the 3D world, but you're seeing them all over. You're just going out there. You're with them all the time. But to physically see them in the 3D world, let me see if that's going to happen. Yes, you will.
Yeah.
Oh, you already have. You already have.
Yeah, her cats.
You've already met them.
Yeah. For some reason, I'm getting a really strong connection with her cats.
Let's see if it's her cat.
The Lemurians.
I'm getting a little yes on that. Yeah, it is a yes. It is. Look at your cats. Look at your cats. Let me see if there's one or two. I think it's specific to one or two of them. It's specific to one or two. Yeah, there's one or two of them that they're the ETs, the Lemurians. And for some reason, I'm seeing a black and white one and an orange one. I don't know why I'm seeing those two, but I'm getting a yes on that. That you're all with them. I mean, you're like part of them. So anyway, look at your cats. I don't know. Did you get the colors of those cats? I'm sure I'm getting a black and white and an orange one.
Yeah, and I'm getting one that's kind of like a tiger stripe or something, but not so orange like brownie ginger kind of. Yeah. Yeah. She says where, when, how.
Where, when, how? I don't know. We don't know all those, but we're all meeting them. We're just meeting. We're expecting to see like an insectoid, or we're expecting to see a gray, but they're all among us, and we're needing to start recognizing. Like like right now, we're finding out that two of your cats. You have two black and white cats. Okay, we're recognizing that the cats are. I mean, you're recognizing that maybe your animals or things around you, and humans, like the ones in the dog park, they look regular human. Like you're seeing the people that look human that are ET. So we are all being exposed to it. We're just now recognizing it. So just take a look at what's around you, Cat Mama, because of course it's your cats, but also they're around you. For some reason, I just see them all around you. Just open your eyes. They're in human form.
Yeah. Yeah, they really are. Ginger Sky, I just wanted to read this because I loved it. I had a telepathic event again a month or so ago with the inner earth being, and her message was, why do you change your or charge yourselves with negative energy, you need to connect to nature, to animals.
Yeah, it's,
Beautiful,
yeah.
Ginger. And Julie, let's see. I was told I am of Lemurian origin, but to focus on the life on Earth. How do we balance our interdimensional existence?
Oh my gosh.
That's the yogi question.
That's great because I'm always having that same thing myself. I think we all do because we all long not to be in this 3D body.
Yeah.
But and that's part of the grounding, having to ground. But yeah, that's a tough one. Yeah, meditation, grounding. That brings us to our 3D body. I don't know, Terry. You take this one because I struggle with it myself, Jules.
It's
I want to be out there. I don't want to stay on Earth. I want to be out there.
yeah, it's like the question, like, pie or something. It's just you're always looking for that balance and the space in between. And I think that space in between is going to be 5D for us. But so you're already there a lot, right? But then sometimes, of course, you have days when you're like, well, I had a chocolate chip cookie and now I want the rest of them, or I want to binge out and watch, something silly on TV or whatever it is. Or maybe you get upset with the car.
Yeah, mine's in the car.
Yeah.
Driving, all of a sudden you get mad at someone because I really get a lot of information. I really go to the 5D when I'm in the car with the vibration and everything. But then all of a sudden somebody make you mad. Boop, you're right into 3D. You're sitting there cussing at them.
Yeah. There is it is. The car is a supernatural place, that's for sure, because it's like the outside world doesn't matter because you're kind of protected, but are you really? And but I think walking into that space in between the positive and the negative, the male and the female, the yin and the yang, dark and light. Boy, that's the yogi question. Constant. We could go on forever on that.
Yeah.
Yeah. The shallows of the universe, Diana. I like what Jen Carr said too. Dr. Gale's short videos of her experiences are great. Does she have one about the inner earth experience she was describing earlier? It sounded fascinating. I'd love to hear more.
Is that the inner earth with Mother Earth? I do have one. Actually, I have two of them with her. Mother Earth, if that's what you're talking about. But the inner earth beings, I don't know if I have a video on this. I don't think so, but I have talked about them. But I don't think I have a short. Maybe I'll make one about them. But yeah.
Yeah.
Mother Earth.
Yeah. Thank you, Julie. The gray areas. There's a lot of gray areas, aren't there?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay, we got time for one more. Let me see how we go. Okay, Leah. Oh boy, I'm going to be honest. I need to hear from my sky family. Can I get a scan for my heart and veins?
Well, hi, Leah. The scan for your heart and veins, I have different guides, and that goes to my show on the Solaris Healing Center, which we'll be doing another one soon. But that's more of, I have a different guides for this and different guides for that. And the Solaris Healing Center, I'm just allowed to bring in it, use it for an hour. So save that. That'll be a fantastic question for the Solaris Healing Center. So save that part. And but we can give you a message from your sky family. So I'm sure you're already ready.
They're surrounding you, Leah, like big hugs. And there's not just a circle around you that they surround you with. Every one of them is a circle. So it's like this. It feels like it's orbs also. So and they're talking about in the mornings. If you want to, or at night, you can take a picture with your phone, with your flash on. if you want to try to start seeing them, or maybe just with your naked eye. A lot of you guys see them with your naked eye already.
I think this is a card for Leah. And it says perspective. None of this matters. Zoom out, common ground. So what I'm getting about this, Leah, is you're looking too narrow into it. You're just pinpointing, and they're wanting you to open up your perspective and look at it a little bit wider, and things will change. And what you're focusing on something, whatever's going on, you're focusing on that, and they're just wanting you to open up and look around you, and that will help your perspective.
That makes so much sense because it's a big circle around you, Leah. I mean, it's powerful, pulsating. So, yeah.
They're out there they're saying they're out there to help.
Yeah.
Just open up and accept them.
Yeah. I pulled Lemurian seed codes for you. So, again, seeing things. Yeah. Yeah. And expanding. Embracing sensitivity, uniqueness, and living with grace. So,
That's great.
Yeah. Yeah. I love that. Grace. Grace is amazing. Wow. Well, that was quick.
That was quick. Sorry we didn't get to y'all's questions, but I just went off on a tangent there, I think. Mother Earth was really wanting me to communicate with everybody today.
Yeah. Jen Carr says, I've been catching a lot of flashes out at the corners. Yeah. That's where you'll start seeing them, is out of the corners of your eye or in your peripheral vision a lot. And
Exactly.
start noticing differences in colors now, Jen. Like, and ask them for differences in colors or however you see things. So, yeah. So what's going on this week, Dr. Gail?
I don't. Well, Susie and I will have to talk and figure out what we're going to do this week. We haven't talked yet, but you always have a bunch of stuff going on. You talk about all your things coming up.
Oh, well, JJ from Tutah Speaks is going to be on today at 4. We're doing that.
What does he do? Who is that? A he or she?
It's a she. I want to introduce you to her. I'll send you some of her stuff. She's amazing. She's a shaman.
Oh, okay.
And I think she's in Utah.
Okay.
And, but she does a lot of light work. She's pretty amazing. She speaks light language and does a lot of healing. So, yeah, I think you guys would really get along. But she's kind of new to YouTube, I think just the last year or so, maybe 2 years.
Okay.
But maybe she just had her. Yeah.
Tina's saying she's amazing.
Yeah, she really is amazing. You would really love her. She's so easy and funny. So, yeah, easy and funny. I love easy and funny.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's it. And tomorrow I'm going to do something with Colleen from Cool Crone, I think is the name of her channel. And there's some new world vision thing coming up. So anyway, that's about it. Yeah.
You're always so busy. All right. Well, thanks for having me on. I appreciate it. It's always just flies by when we're together.
It does, doesn't it? Yeah. And thanks for being here, everybody. And we'll probably be back in another 2 weeks, I hope.
Yes.
So,
please on my channel.
Yeah. Thank you. And thank you, Maud, so much. That was amazing.